let's see. Good evening, everybody. It is 4:34, so we're 4 minutes behind. I apologize. I'm going to have to wear my sunglasses because I forgot my reading glasses. So, not because I want to look cool, just I just cannot read without them. All right. That is the agenda. Oral communications. Anybody? We don't have anybody, right? No.
Can you hear?
Anybody? Public oral communications?
She can't hear you.
Can,
Oh, okay. We can hear you. Your microphone is on. There are no oral communications.
no? Okay. Approval of minutes. Let's review and approve. You guys had a chance to review them. Any changes to the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, new business, number 2. New mural Zane. Is he here?
Yes, he is.
Oh, there you are. Good. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
So from the last time I was here, I got everything together, like how you like it.
Good.
Oh, that's it.
Do you want me to say anything about it or what?
Pardon me?
So, Zane, if you could just introduce your mural, let them know where it's going to be. Obviously, that you're going to be painting it directly on the wall, how much funding you're requesting, etc.
This location is on the corner. It's technically on the alley corner of Calmaya and Grand. The business is a computer repair store, and it's another wall similar to the last one that I had been working on for a really long time to get this to make happen. And that is almost an exact photo of, or a rendering or whatever, of exactly what I was thinking of doing. The only thing that needs to be done on this wall, there's a little bit of a construction situation, but the guy who owns the building is they're super cool with helping me take care of that. And we're gonna paint that directly on the wall. The purpose of this particular location is it's a really good wall. It's right in the downtown area, but it's also, when you pull into the alley right there, there's a driveway. When you pull in, there's a driveway right to your left. And so for people, I have a mural. If you turn into that driveway, I also have another mural right by there. And people are back there all the time taking pictures. And I mean, it's just all the time I get tagged on the internet with this stuff. And this one is right for the downtown area. I mean, Grand Avenue is a really popular area now. And I think it'll just be another one of those spots where people are going to take pictures of it for their Instagram and be like, hey, look what we're doing. We're in the downtown area hanging out, and it's not all in your face. It's like you gotta, you see it when you see it, and it's just another mural I was trying to do for a long time, and hopefully we can make that happen.
Beautiful.
What are the dimensions?
I turned in the application the other day. I want to say it's 13 or 14 feet tall by 24 feet wide, I think. You have everything right there.
14 by 24.
14 by 24. It's cinder block. It's a bright white wall. So I'm just going to end up cleaning it, priming it, painting the artwork directly to it. I mean, it is absolutely perfect for cruising Grand. Everybody that's into it has a 60s kind of vibe, which is what I was purposely going for. And those buildings, if you've ever been there, that's when they were. Mm-hmm. That's just the whole look I'm going for. And so if you got an old car, if you dress up in a poodle skirt or whatever you do, that's the spot where you're going to take pictures.
Hey, Zane, I'm 110% in favor of your work. I just think you capture Escondido, and I just think everything you do is fabulous, fabulous. I can't say that enough. This says welcome to Grand Avenue, but it's not on Grand. When I saw this in my mind, I just had this picture of it being as you enter onto Grand Avenue, where it used to be the GameStop right there. It was a retro store at one time. There's a parking lot, and then it used to be a flower shop years ago.
Yeah. You're talking about the bail bonds place.
Where the bail, yes, that's right.
I can see that too. I had been working on this literally before I even met any of you guys, and so I had already been working on this for a
Well,
while.
we only have, I mean, it looks like we have a lot of money, and I just want to use it
Wisely.
wisely. Not only that, in the right place. I mean, location is really important. But I just think your art is worthy of being on Grand, not tucked away in an alley. I'd like to see you pursue that personally. I just think that would look fabulous on that wall.
The reason part of the reason that I chose this wall, if you paint, painting on stucco really sucks. Different surfaces require different things. That wall you're talking about is a stucco wall. Nothing's going to look good on that. You would have to do something really simple. I get it. The location is good, but the texture of that wall is just not. Is probably why no one even paints on there. No, that guy came to me. He wanted to do a mural there, and he just didn't want to pay for it, and so we just abandoned that whole idea. And so, just the texture of that wall, it's hard to do. This is smooth. It's smooth and it's white, and it's just. That's why I've been trying to get that wall for years before I met any of you guys. So that's why when I met and I showed her, hey, look what else I've been trying to do. She was like, hey, this is super good. We should do this. And so that's why. Like, for example, if you've ever seen the other one that's kind of like this out on Valley Parkway.
Yes.
It's called King's Pond.
I have-
The lady had a construction company come through and I don't know what they call it, but it's stucco. That building is stucco. But she had that whole wall smoothed out for that. And I don't know what that costed into the cost of whatever. You guys ended up helping do that, I think, years ago. And but that's why that looks good and why it's been lasting so long is because she had that done.
So you're saying that could be smoothed out?
It could be, yeah. But,
Pays for it.
I didn't do it. I just said, hey, if you want a cool mural on this, because she just came to me and was like, hey, I really want a cool mural. And I went and looked at the wall and I said, you're not going to have really anything that's going to look good on this because of the texture of this wall. If you could smooth that out, then we can do it. And then she took care of it and she did it. And it does look good.
Let me ask Danielle, can we see the location that he's proposing? Is there any way you could show us
That would be great.
in
It's like a
downtown?
further photo away from it. But I mean, if you're driving on Kalmaya, like if you turn left off Valley Parkway, it's right there in your face. You can't really miss it. It's right there.
It's off Grand.
But it's off Grand, yeah. But it says welcome to Grand. I mean, obviously Grand Avenue is a big thing.
If we're going east, on the right side.
Yes, left.
On the left side.
Kind of behind H Brothers, if you're familiar with.
Oh,
Familiar with any of those
okay.
places? Yeah, that's right behind there.
Let's see if we can see it. Because usually we have a picture,
I should have took one from
a
further
picture
away, but
of the location when someone presents it. We have that.
like a better idea of how it is. Yeah.
Right.
It's behind H Brothers, right here.
Well, it's the building next to it. It's literally right next to it.
Okay.
And then the gist of this also is like, you've heard of Esco Alley Art, right? I mean, like,
Okay.
why not
that
keep
wall.
pushing that whole thing?
There it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I mean, those are all on the other side, but I mean, if you could start getting them on both sides, wouldn't that be?
Yeah, that was my thought
Equally as
exactly.
good.
Like we've got the Esco Alley art on, one block over, and I think the ultimate goal is to expand Esco Alley art all throughout the alleys of Escondido, and this would be a great start for this side of Grand Avenue.
And then for her part, what she was saying at that other location, we could do something even better in the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
you
other
could
wall.
definitely approach him again, since this is
I
ready
know
to
he
go
wants
and you've got the owner on board. I think this would be a good one to go with now, but if he's expressed in the past, maybe you guys want to get together again and bring something back to the commission for that site
Yeah.
that Patricia is recommending.
I would totally do that. And then we could just do something that's even like, I don't know, a play off of this or something better, you know? I like historical kind of stuff, so to me, I would think as you're coming down that strip, it'd be like, welcome to, old Escondido or something.
Yeah.
And have like a photo of Grand Avenue from the 40s or whatever.
Can you show,
Something really like artistic and not just like,
can you show the other wall? The one that Patricia is
Yeah.
proposing? Because the other one is fabulous. I mean,
Did you see the one from the last time I was here too? I finished that. I don't know if you guys, I sent the
I haven't
artwork
yet.
in. But a lot of times from the last time, when I just brought a drawing and you guys were kind of like, hey, is it going to come out good? You can clearly see they come out really nice looking,
Commissioner Span, it's on Second, is that correct?
It's.
No, it's on
going
Grand
to
Avenue.
It's on Grand. It's on Grand.
You're
Grand
going
on
the right
corner,
way.
It's a
almost by Esco Boulevard.
Huge wall.
Almost to Escondido Boulevard, there's a parking lot, and where we're looking at it would be on the east side, Yeah, where that blue awning is there.
Oh, yeah.
Turn
Okay, let me
around.
go down here and turn around.
Turn around.
Oh, right there.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's coming into, that's the entrance.
From
You're right, we could do something else there that would be even more fantastic than that.
Yeah, something you go,
The only
wow,
thing
really
is that,
cool. Hey, and
yeah,
I'm on board for that too. Let's just,
It-
one
it
thing at a
just-
time though.
it just says, welcome to Grand Avenue. I'm
Yes.
confused.
Seems like a
So-
wonderful.
Because
What
my,
about a
my
pro-
business is on Grand Avenue, so when I'm hanging out on Grand Avenue like every single day, and people are chilling and they're hanging out, people don't say, oh, I'm at Tony Pepper. The thing is Grand. Hashtag Grand Ave. I mean, that's the thing. People don't say, oh, I'm in downtown Escondido. Hey, we're on Grand. Grand is the thing. Whether you're in the alley or on Valley or on Second or whatever, if you're in that area, you're in Grand. That's what it's going to be known as, Grand Avenue neighborhood, whatever.
So
Grand Ave.
who owns that building, or who has business there right now? On this one?
The business that I'm trying to do,
No, this one, right here, the one we're looking.
that's a bail bonds place.
Doesn't the guy who owns the theater, or used to own the theater, what's his name? Somebody, I mean.
Theater X?
What?
No, that's not the same guy.
The owner of the Ritz?
The owner of the Ritz. No. What is it? The whole center. Yes. The whole center. Starts with what?
Remember?
He also owns the building at the corner of Broadway and
Jim Crone?
Crone. Yeah, with a K.
C.
Oh, that's right. Sounds like. Yeah. I think Jim Crone owns that.
Can we open it for discussion about the location? That's the only issue I have is the location. So,
I like this location here.
I don't think this one's ready to go, though.
No,
That's
but
kind of the whole
I think we like
argument, is that,
That would be like down the road.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say bring more art as quickly as we can. I'm totally in favor of that. And I love how it looks like a sticker almost on the
Almost
wall.
right. See, it's a postcard, but have it tilted sideways, and
a
you
luggage
can see
sticker
the
almost.
whole thing is with the, especially with the stripes to the left, mainly catering to guys with cars. Everybody loves that, and I'm telling you, I'm there every day. Grand is the thing.
We walk by that all the time to go to Little Miss or Black Plague.
Exactly.
or
You
wherever.
came from that parking lot, right?
Walk
I have
by
that
all
in the notes that you can't go past that without. You can't park there without going past it. You have to go past it.
I have a question. During Cruising Grand, do people come this far
They
down?
go all the way down to Juniper, and they go all the way down to, I think it's Ivy or whatever,
but I mean-
whatever the next block is, because that's where they go to turn around.
Yeah, but I mean down, all the way down to Center City. Do they go that far?
Escondido Boulevard's usually where it ends.
Okay.
can you go back to his wall, if that's possible? Because my concern is that the people that are coming from Valley Parkway toward Grand will see it.
If you turn left on
If
Carolina,
you, okay, so if you're going now, we're going north right now, you won't see the mural.
she just passed the street. See it right there, that white wall.
Right, so people who are coming from Valley Parkway, my bank is there, San Diego County. So we will see it. People that are coming from Grand toward Valley Parkway, unless they know it's there, they won't see it.
That's part of the fun.
My only concern is a little hidden. That's the only concern
Yeah.
I have. I mean, we have other walls that are more visible, but everybody, please have your say.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, that spot should have something, but probably something
Right, but it's
better, you
not
know?
a priority. No.
I tend to agree with what you said, where Grand is more so a space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily limited to that street. So I would agree, and especially with the alley art, I think it would get visibility for both for people looking for it and not expecting it there.
You'll
So
see at the bottom of the artwork, we created a whole page for Grand Avenue. That's just going to drive it, like, because now there's all these pages, downtown Esco and Esco Love and blah, and all these. There's a lot of them. There it is, you know.
I particularly like it because it reminds me of a postcard
That's the whole point.
from the past.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a postcard. But
Well, technically it is because I've already been creating a line of postcards for Escondido. I have a store on Grand, so I've already designed a whole line of stickers
Oh, I thought-
of like all the signs that say Old Escondido and then like, you know, the Hidden Valley with the, I have all that stuff. So you will see that as an actual postcard.
Yeah, I also like because it shows the diversity of it.
A lot of people, I just met 2 people this morning from Wisconsin. And what did they do? They came and bought 2 t-shirts from my store, and I said, hey, if you want to see a mural that looks like the shirt you just bought, it's in the alley behind my store. And they went there and took pictures in front of it. And that's a Monday morning in Escondido. Every day it happens.
You're absolutely a pioneer.
Every day it happens, you know?
So you don't have any concern about the location?
I do understand what you're saying about only seeing it one way, because the alley is very narrow. That's the biggest
Right,
problem.
right.
And I do understand that. Is there a possibility of another site that's more
It
visible?
would just have to be something you would look into, you know? You got to go. See, the thing is when you go to get a wall, like, so for example, the guy who has his business in there, I've known him for years. I painted something for him a long time ago. And so then I was like, oh, where's your business at? And I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh, this wall is perfect for a mural. This is great. This is like 5 years ago, probably. And so then I start talking to him and about, hey, what would you like to see? Would you like to do something here, you know, possibly? And it takes a long time to talk these people into it sometimes. When he was finally on board is around the time when I met you, you know, came across this and was like, well, hey, dude, you won't even have to pay for this. We'll get the city to fund this. And this will be like, it's your bit. The guy at the clock shop, dude, he's losing his mind. Did he pay a penny for that? No. Who's getting all of the people coming to him now? The clock guy. He thinks he's the greatest guy in town, and he didn't even do nothing. He wouldn't even show up at the meetings to you know what I mean? So the business people, they love it. When you get them on board, and it takes a long time, then once you get the business on board, you got to talk to the owner. The owner of that building doesn't even live in Escondido. They don't even live in California.
Okay.
I'm getting all their information currently, but she's on board. I was waiting for an email, which I said, please, can you have it for this meeting? And I haven't got it yet, but she's on board. That all takes a lot of time. So if you're like, well, this is cool, but let's, you know, is it cool 3 years later? You know, like, that's the only thing I don't like about this whole process is it takes way too long.
All right.
And I want to add that
Like
as
when you
part-
guys wanted to do the other one,
you.
I don't have a contractor or none of that. I just did that. I did it because I want to do it. You know, it's like, hey, it's already voted. We're good. Let's get this moving. You know, like we can make change like a lot faster than.
Well, okay, so we know the location you're proposing, we know the dimensions. How much money are you asking for this mural?
By the square foot, it's $8,400. Just like the other one, I just flat fee. That's how I charge everybody. It's $25 a square foot.
8,400,
400, yeah. I
400.
believe it will probably take about 2 weeks to do this, maybe 3, depending on the construction. Because there's a hole, or it's not a hole. There was a window or something there, and we've already figured out. We made a game plan of how it's going to get fixed. You don't see it in the photo, but
Well,
fixing that window and some other wiring, then I can do it. So let's just say a month, you know. But like the other one, I did that in 2 weeks.
Is there a light nearby that can?
So the
light.
guy is willing to do, the owner of the business is willing to put lights on it at his own cost.
I'm
Because
sure.
so many people go down there at night to go drinking and stuff in Grand now.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a beautiful.
Besides just Little Misses right there, you also have Black Plague. So you have those 2 huge parking lots right there, and people go back and forth.
Okay.
They're always going to Fusion and these
All
different
right,
places.
so we need to, because we have a long agenda, we need to move forward. So does the rest of you want to move forward with this and someone propose, to move forward with this at the location for the price and all of that?
Since
Or
I
do-
was the one that was sort of opposed to the location, I can see in the spirit of the, just the murals, the layering, the lighting, the artist, I would vote for it.
Thank you.
So anybody wants to make a motion to approve this?
I'll make the motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Awesome.
Right.
See, rad, we're getting things
That's
done.
it, we're done. What it convinces me is that Ali Art is planning to turn around, right, and come back on the other side. And so this could be the the mural that starts moving in
really
the,
will.
in the northern direction.
Yep.
Come back and with a proposal for that other one, and we'll see how it flies. Okay?
So what I'm gonna do is, so like, while you guys are all here, we should talk about this. So there's, like, this is obviously for the community, right? Like, it says Escondido and it's got the oranges and all the stuff. The clock one that I just did, as time goes by, for all these people that are already sending me pictures, it makes sense because it's on a clock store, right? I'm gonna do some research, even though that's a bail bonds business now, I don't want it to be related to bail bonds business because I think that's not cool, but I'm going to research, what was that building? I know it was a flower shop back in the day, but who cares what it was? You know, let's look at time to do research on what the actual art should be on that building. You know, like that would be cool on that building, but we can make something better. I know we could, that will be super community oriented and not something that doesn't have anything to do with Escondido. I'm kind of against some of these walls that just look crazy that have nothing to do with what the town is about. So I would research that and do it. So it'll take me some time to figure that out. But I would want to do something where everybody goes, wow, that's really cool. You know, it's not just some random whatever.
All right.
So awesome.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Zane.
Same.
Approved.
Happens all the time. Thank you.
Done.
Thank you.
Okay. In 2 weeks, that's going to be exciting. We can go have. No, you said it's going to take 2 weeks. When? Oh, that was the other thing that you didn't mention. When are you planning to get started, and when do you plan to have it done? Because it's kind of okay.
I think we're waiting on the owner, right? The letter?
We're waiting on the letter probably. I'd like to get paid from the last one first and then get
Yeah.
started on the second one.
You haven't.
Just so, because I buy all the materials on my own.
You
We should have that this
And you
week.
know what I try to do, just so you guys know? I don't just try to come here and be like, oh, give me a bunch of money to do this. I'm doing a big mural on 2nd Avenue, and I got the owner to pay for that himself. And it's a lot. And he sees the value in it and what it's going to do to his business. So, like, instead of just coming here and being like, hey, we should do this because you guys got that, a lot of times I try to get the people who own these places, hey, put up some money for it because you're the one ultimately reaping the most reward out of it.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, it has nothing to do with this. I'm doing,
Okay, yeah.
but what I'm
Be
saying
nice
is
to
I'm doing a
know.
big mural that it's going to take me a few weeks to get that done, and then I'll start this next one.
So when-
if we're in May, it'll be done by the end of June probably.
This one that we
The
just.
one that you're
approved.
talking about, yeah.
And-
But in the meantime, I'm painting one that's 12 feet by 65 feet, and I'll start that this weekend, and I'll have that done in a
That'd
few
be
weeks.
I think Anne Marie just wondered where it was, just for
Oh,
not,
yeah.
not anything to do
Like
with
in a
us.
month. It'll probably look in a month or so, it'll be done.
Where will it be? Not
Where? The location?
Oh, it's on West 2nd Avenue on, do you know where Discount Tire is?
Yes.
Across the street on that, it's called Gems and Loans. And it's a big blank building. And the guy's been wanting a mural on there. And he found me painting the other one with the timekeepers. And we worked it out and we did all the artwork. We generated all the artwork. I showed it over here to Danielle. And a whole team of people have gone over this artwork. And they just made the deposit today, actually. So we're going to get that done soon, really soon.
Thank
And,
you.
it's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be crazy looking because it'll be another photo opera for people in town,
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next, Mural Children's Discovery Museum. The Discovery Museum, which I thought they had withdrawn.
I will. Oh, you can go ahead and start. And I have it up on the screen as well.
Hello.
Hi.
I have not attended previous meetings because my team members have. I am the CEO of the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum. This is hopefully our 5th and final time here. I believe some issues were raised the last time we were here, but we wanted to revisit our application for the mural on our building on Broadway.
Just
Oh,
as,
and I'm also here with.
just as a reintroduction,
Yes.
I'm Chris Johnson, the artist of this one. I was here, I think it was
Wonderful.
January.
Right.
We talked about this, so yeah, if any other questions come up, please let me know.
It's changed.
What has changed? A little bit, right? The mural.
Did you guys have questions from the previous meeting? We have, I think there are some handouts where we wanted to revisit our original, application, and at least as by way of a reminder, kind of say that we're requesting $19,500 Chris Johnson, who's the incredible artist that we selected for doing this artwork. The mural will be up for 5 years. There were several issues that were raised, I believe, in the last few meetings, all of which we have addressed, from providing a clear concept, a budget, and bringing an artist to the meeting. We have reduced the budget from the original $30,000 as requested. As requested, we brought Chris to previous meetings. As requested, we have provided clarity on the location. Again, as requested, for 5 years, a mural will be up. As requested, I believe there was a meeting with the Historical Preservation Society regarding the original mural that's actually on the building that we own behind the canvas. And as requested, we believe that the original mosaic will not be destroyed in any way. We reached out to 3 organizations to see if they would be interested in taking the mural, the original mural. So we reached out to the Archaeological Center in Escondido. They do not want it. We reached out to the California Office of Historical Preservation. They did not want it. And we reached out to the San Pasqual Battle State Historical Park, and they do not want it. So that's kind of where we stand. We're still requesting the original $19,500 for the artwork. We believe it's worth saying, or at least reminding everyone, that the mural is a really beautiful depiction, a very child-friendly depiction of the vision of the museum and our values. And we think that the children who visit us, which we have about 180,000 people that visit us every year, would love it.
Any discussions? 'Cause
Well, nothing has changed from their last proposals.
right.
Not everyone was at that meeting with the Historical Preservation Commission, so I'll just kind of say what my final thoughts were. I wasn't against the mural. It's not harming the mosaic behind there. They're not planning to damage it at all. It saddens me that that canvas will be blank if we don't approve the mural, and I don't see the harm in letting them move on with it.
And I agree with that. I've had a lot of time to think about that. I pass that blank space all the time and feel bad about it.
I agree that we need to move forward because this is your, fifth time?
Fifth time.
Fifth time before us, and we've kept putting it off. I think we need to move on ourselves with this.
I have one more question. So considering moving that to another location of the building was out of the questions for you guys? Because that was where we couldn't agree.
It's not out of the question for us at all. It's the mural. If anybody wants the mural, they're welcome to have it.
No. I'm talking this mural with, to move that to another part of the.
No, there's no other. If you walk past the building, you'll see that there's nowhere else. There's no space anywhere on the front of the building where that mural could belong.
Okay, and my second concern is that when you guys came over the first, well, actually you've said it every time, 5 years and then you might paint it over, and that I have a hard time with that.
I think this was raised previously too. At the moment, it's 5 years with Chris visiting quarterly to check on the maintenance of the mural. Part of the experience of the mural is to have the kids watch Chris paint it so they can see art in action. It is not uncommon for children's museums to have a mural that lasts 5 years, and even then, that's kind of what we had talked about, I think, in previous meetings, was 5 years.
I'd also just like to add that 5 years is the requirement of our contract.
Okay.
So that meets our requirement.
I think, no, there's a misunderstanding. I understood that it was going to be painted over. After 5 years, another design was going to come. And I think we talked about that, and we would invest $20,000 on a mural that in 5 years it would be painted over and have another design. Can you clarify that?
I believe it's part of your agreement.
I don't think that is their plan, but just to clarify, that could happen with any of our murals because the artist is only required to maintain the mural for 5 years. And after that, if the mural becomes faded, becomes, unsightly, then we would paint over it. So that could
I
happen
mean,
with
the
any mural.
city, the city would paint over it?
The city, or we would have another artist. We would pay another artist to do a new mural.
Plus, you,
Okay, so it wasn't intentionally that you're saying 5 years we're going to paint something else on top? Okay.
Right, but we're guaranteeing and committing to maintain the mural for
Mm-hmm.
5 years specifically. After that, we can continue, or if you need another vision, I'm willing to do another proposal, or other artists too. Obviously, plenty of fantastic artists around here, so they would have a chance to propose something else that is more akin to what the museum would need at that moment.
Right.
also, I noticed that you've embellished it really beautifully. You've added,
Blue. Didn't he add blue?
it
More
looks
contrast.
pinkish around the clouds.
Try to bring a lot of color. I'm
And,
trying to
yeah,
blend
That is
into
something-
the beautiful blue skies we see here
I
in
can't see
Escondido. And it's also representing like the museum itself coming right from next to Grape Day Park. That's where, our courageous chickens will be flying their
It's also worth saying that the reference to Grape Day Park, the mural is is a celebration of not just the value that we bring to the community as a children's museum for families in need, but to Chris's point, there is a reference to Grape Day Park too. So we're celebrating Escondido in the same vein, like that's the vision.
And my last question would be, is the museum, the Children Discovery Museum, going to do anything about the keep up of the ceramic mural that is behind it? Not restoring it, just maintain it. So
Has it been maintained in previous years
I don't know. Have it?
as a historic piece of art? I'm curious.
Should be.
When did the Discovery Museum move there to that?
11 years ago.
And since then, it hasn't been touched, right?
I don't believe so, but I don't think it was maintained prior either. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's worth taking a peek. A
Yes.
large part of the mural is already heavily faded.
Really?
I think because it hasn't been maintained. But I mean, we're a children's museum, so I mean, I'm not entirely sure what the maintenance would involve, since it's an old piece of art, and it's on our building, and it's a building that we own. People who want it are welcome to it. But from our perspective, it's not really in the spirit of the museum. I mean, we could probably power wash it. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not
how you
sure
would
either.
maintain that.
Yeah, we more and there's some artists here, so they might know more than I do. But it is a ceramic. I don't know if the public has seen it. It's a beautiful piece. It's very sad to see it deteriorating, and I don't know if we could do something about it. Maybe the commission could invest some money into preserving it, because the Discovery Museum may not be there forever. It would be nice to know that the mural behind it is still alive and well.
Yeah,
Anne Marie, you make good points. I just would like to say, I'm probably the one that opposed it the most, but I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. And I think that the mural itself probably protects it a little bit at this point.
Yeah.
But I would like to, I think like a stone, if you get it wet, it does bring out color. There probably is something you can put on that to bring out the features in it, but I don't know what the option is. It's a shame, because this was the first piece of public art in Escondido years ago. But it is your building, and you can do whatever you want to with it. I love kids. I have grandkids, and they do go there. But I didn't see anything wrong with the mural that was there. Matter of fact, I thought it was fabulous, and I think it's kind of hiding a Mona Lisa, so to speak. But it is your building. It's not like we can tell you what to do with your building. And if you wanted to get additional, funding from somewhere else, you would. And I can see that this is going your way, and I don't see the future, so I maybe it's, maybe it's covering it up for now, and when you outgrow that, maybe the city could buy it. I don't know, but
Welcome to.
we hope that we can preserve it in some way. But I got to tell you, kudos for your persistence.
I have a remark. If nothing else, as you said, my background is art, and I will tell you, putting up this large mural in front of it will protect it. It's
Yes.
mostly westward facing, so the sun damage will continue to erode it if nothing's there to protect it. This mural in front of it will protect it better than anything else that you could put on it at this point.
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to say the same thing, and I think also if at any point the city wants to come and restore it, maintain it, they're welcome to.
Well, I was going to ask Danielle, we do have funding for maintenance, so we could maybe,
I think as a commission, if you all want to look into what that would take, I think we have a good place to start. We have Lek, who is our artist who maintains our Queen Califia. He's very familiar with mosaics. Maybe we can reach out to him and see what he would propose for something like this. Or if he wants to refer us to someone else that maybe also works in that area, I mean, we could certainly do that.
how much space is there between the old mural and the new mural?
I would say like 5 feet.
No.
or-
5 feet?
It's very
So
tight.
you think it's an,
It also give me confidence that painting on the boards there, I would have no effect on it behind, right? Like,
oh, no, that's not a concern.
that's not a concern.
No.
But also,
If there was enough space for someone to get behind and do work,
100%.
yeah, and preserve it somehow.
Yeah, there's.
All right, well, I think we are in agreement of what I'm listening here, so anyone wants to
Well,
make
I move that we move forward with this,
to this
Mural.
Children's Museum mural? Okay,
for the Children's Museum.
we'll have a second?
I second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, done.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
To clarify, Commissioner Ryan, you're abstaining though, right? From voting? Okay. So it'll be,
And I think in order for the public to understand, we loved the design, we wanted both, you know what I mean? We wanted it all. That just doesn't happen, can't happen, not at this time, so we'll see. All right, so next is, okay, public art monitoring. So, ladies and gentlemen, no, we don't have one here. So we are going to agree today. We talked about this before. This is basically about assuming responsibility for monitoring public art in Escondido, and the public can help us too. So, okay. Oh, but we don't have these. Are these all the pieces?
This is a map that our public art consultant came up with. It's probably 95% of the pieces. But what I want to talk through today, I guess, is how we're going to divide. I think we should divide by area, not necessarily naming the specific pieces. So this is the city as a whole, and then you get into the downtown area where we have a more concentrated art pieces, and so we can, I just wanted to show you both of those because we can probably divide the downtown area, and then we have 7 commissioners. So we could probably divide this area into 4 and maybe the downtown area into 3 areas. I'm not sure, but that's what you all are here to discuss.
I'm glad to see we're doing this because I think we need to be stewardships over what we have right now so that we can move forward. We've got some fantastic art. I mean, and some pieces just have a tile missing or something like that, and it is just getting overlooked. You know, I hadn't thought when you said that, the Escondido reported. I wonder if that's something we can add to that problem with them. I don't know, that might get a little convoluted. But Escondido reports everything from graffiti to water to maintenance on abandoned cars, and they're very effective. I mean, I see them coming out. They say that, you know, the city is 150,000 plus people, but the people who are looking for these things are, you know, several dozen, or maybe, so anyway, we are the eyes of Escondido, and that's why the whole idea of Escondido reported. But I think it's a good start. Might even be enough for us to divide it somehow, because we only meet every other month, so that would be good.
What we are seeing right now, these are only public art. It doesn't include the one on private property, right?
No, both are on here.
All of them are here? Okay, so why don't you give me, why don't we just divide it? I mean, I'll take all the east, whatever, you just cut it and say, I'll take whatever. I'm thinking of Crest, what's the name of Crest Avenue? We have the beautiful James Hubble there. We have, what other pieces there? In the corner of Broadway and El Norte, there's a second
there's the-
sculpture.
Yeah, the time disc, I would like to look at that.
So why don't I, yeah,
I love the time disc.
yeah.
El Norte and Broadway.
Yes, I'm saying, just to take all that area, I would take that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all Broadway. There's several things on Broadway too. I think you should divide it and tell us, honestly. Don't you think? Divide it what? Just divide it and say, okay, you take area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and
That's a good place to start, and then if we need to mix them up a little bit, then we can share.
One thing we mentioned before, I thought, was that we were going to look at areas where we're close to where we live, because we would be passing by frequently, every day. And I can see where special interest items would be maybe exempt from that, and somebody from another area could come over to that special interest. But I know for myself, I pass by a lot of pieces of art, and there's a couple of things that I need to report. And so if we could mix the two, where it would be near your neighborhood, but also if somebody has a special interest or something that they really like, then that would be taken from you.
So do you want to,
we go.
I don't want to talk about it openly at the public meeting where you all live. So would you like to send me your address? I can look at where you are and give you boundaries from, this street to that street, and give you a square that you guys will oversee. And if, hopefully you guys are spread out, but I'll try to do my best to keep you around where your home is.
That sounds good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Or if you want to, if it's work, that you'd rather, whatever address you want me to, wherever you want to focus. Or if you have a specific piece, let me know that you want included in your rounds. And then I can bring that back.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We'll send it to you, and then we take it from there. So we don't take time from here, from the meeting. Sounds good. By the way, anything on, well, I can bring it up at the end. Yeah. Tristan? Mural additional funding request, Tristan?
Yes. So you're all familiar with the Zebache, the mural over on Juniper, right? I think it's Juniper.
Yes. By 7-Eleven?
And 7-Eleven, yes, the beautiful sky whale. He has asked me to present to you all an additional funding need. He's gone over budget by $3,058. So basically, these are material costs that were unanticipated, increase in cost of materials. As you all know, costs for everything has gone up. It goes up weekly around here for our projects. So increase in cost of materials and just more than he anticipated needing. The total is $3,058. He also mentioned that, when he applied for this mural, he was very conservative with his costs. And probably did himself a disservice at that time. He was trying to be competitive and win the grant, but he probably, in hindsight, should have asked for this up front. So he was requesting that we provide additional funding in the amount of $3,058.73 to make him whole. Just as a reminder, his original budget was $14,000.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Charlie came down to the same conclusion. They were very conservative and, yeah.
And we've talked about this before, and I think as we're doing murals and talking with the artists that are proposing these murals, that they should be adding a little bit more to their budgets because prices are going up, every month, every week. So, we only reimburse for what they spend. So they can, I think it's wise that maybe we have a contingency line, that we ask our artists to put a contingency line, maybe a 10% of their budget or something like that, so that we don't end up in this situation and have to come back for money after the fact.
It's a precedent that you really don't want to see continue. Matrenga, the guy that did the artist that did the mural over there, when he did it on the Sears building, I think he went over he lost $20,000 on that. So, I think he did it art for the love of art, but he did not come back and ask the city. But it was, I understand where we're going with this, and I understand that looking at prices on murals, that we just need to get a firm figure on it because it's a little after the fact right now. Yeah.
Right.
While I believe he should be reimbursed, I also think it's not fair, though, if people undercut to get the job and then other people lost out because they gave a more true estimate.
I don't think he undercut. I think he was just being conservative and thinking that he could get the job done with that amount of money.
Yeah.
And it just...
Well, I understand him needing to be reimbursed.
I move that we reimburse him for that fees.
I second it.
I'm wondering if we're opening a can of worms now.
I don't think so. Like I said, I think moving forward, we need to talk with our artists about having a contingency on their projects, because until you get into the project, you really don't know what you're going to need. I mean, you can estimate as best you can, just like our city budgets, right? We estimate as best we can. It's an estimate. So if we have that contingency, that's that cushion. And like I said, we don't pay anything that they don't spend. So we're not going to pay for a service that we didn't receive.
We need to review the mural policy. We have a policy, maybe it needs to be included there. I thought it was, by the way, in the application.
I don't think we've had any specific language about adding a contingency. I think we could add that for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so there was second? Somebody second?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Palomar College mural. We finally are moving forward. I'm so excited. It took probably 30 or 40 phone calls, emails, messages. I was disappointed because we're paying for this. I mean, we offer it to them. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, in those beautiful two walls on Palomar College in the corner of
Midway
and Valley Parkway, there's two twin walls. They are exactly the same dimensions. One is facing Valley Parkway, the other one is facing Midway. So that hasn't been agreed. So now we have a meeting. We have agreed. I believe those people that were, Terry, I think, will be there, and I and Danielle, right? On the
I have Commissioner Dillinger. Yes, did I say that right? Dillinger. Velasco and Ryan.
No, Heidi.
And myself.
Heidi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, wrong.
Me,
Paul.
moi.
Commissioner Paul. Velasco. You guys
she
are in the wrong
moved.
seats.
Yeah, she moved
Yeah.
seats.
Commissioner Paul, Velasco, and Ryan.
Right. In Palomar, 3 or 4 people coming. So we have that meeting. We'll be on site, and hopefully we'll move forward. We have proposed several artists. We started with Lopez. And we'll see if they like that, and if not, we have second and third possibilities. So hopefully we'll come back to the next meeting with more concrete ideas what's going to happen
Yeah, that meeting will be May 25th.
in the afternoon. Yeah, that's all for now from Palomar College. Mural policy, procedures when murals are funded by other. That is, okay. So, and this is something that we have several artists present right now here. So this will impact your art, all of you. So what we're saying is this: if the commission approves a mural, and I'm thinking right now of Brenda, right? The big one that we approve on that. Well, I want you to think about this because it could happen. And then a foundation funds something else right next to you. Without coming to the commission, without informing anyone or the other artist, they come and paint something right next to you. And so this has happened. We found out when it was already done. It is beautiful, it's pretty. I mean, we're not saying it's ugly, but we have a beautiful paint. Let me be more specific. So Charlie painted that mural facing the creek, facing Washington Park. Now we have the wall facing Rose. We had the foundation coming here and showing us a mural that Mario Torero submitted to them, and we loved it. And that was supposed to cover just the left side of the building facing Rose, a small mural, well, a regular, 15 feet by 9, something like that. We loved it. It was approved. They're paying for it. It was just to inform us of what was coming, right? And then we found out that Mario was funded by the same foundation and painted the whole building all the way to the corner now. So basically, Charlie's and this new, I don't know, you want to call it mural or facade decoration?
Mural?
You think it's a mural because he's
mural.
going to paint the mural also. The mural is going to be embedded on the left side, and then the facade was completely decorated with elements. So what we are talking about right now here is that this body could be a little bit of what Magic wanted to do, which is where, at what point, and who knows what's happening. And so that it doesn't happen again, how do we deal with it?
So I have a question, Anna. If you didn't like it, would you want us to do something about that?
Nothing to do with liking at all. This
So
is
then-
about the procedure of, I don't know if I wasn't clear, but I mean, there was a mural that came, it was approved. And there was another mural, okay. And now the whole thing is painted. The artist that was there should have known. He may have had concerns, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about, Brenda and somebody else.
Like a courtesy notice, like this is,
No, we just found out when it was painted.
no, but what you're asking is like, you prefer it when like they have the courtesy of like notifying, like these are the plans, this is what we're planning to
Right,
put up.
I believe that back when the foundation came to us and talked to us about the mural on the Tortilleria, we had the two artists, Charlie and Mario, communicate with each other. They talked to each other so that they could kind of, they weren't going to have two murals that were clashing, right? So I'm not sure what you're...
This is the rest of the building. It has nothing to do with the murals. There's a mural here, there's a mural here. And now the rest of the building has been decorated. It's a facade, it's all painted. There's not an inch of of wall. So, procedure, what do we do about it? So should they just come over and say, hey, and it's a matching fund, so they had to get funds and they were funded by the foundation to cover this new project on the same building. What do we do?
I guess, well, I'm going to have to go out and look at the building because I'm not picturing, I haven't been out there, and I'm not really understanding what,
You know how they were supposed to apply for a grant so that they would repair the facade?
Yes.
Well, the facade was only repaired, thank you to thank you to you and your friend, Mark, was repaired. But on top of that, it was all painted with figures,
Well,
all of it.
it's a,
And did the artist do
mural.
that? Did Mario?
yeah, and I think it's beautiful. But say that this would have been presented to us, then what happens?
We would have, I guess it would have been a dialogue. We would have a dialogue, and we would have brought Charlie in.
So you just want to, basically, you just want to be aware of
What's
the
happening?
change
Of what's happening.
and what's happening. Okay, so I think that's one of the goals of our public art master plan, and that's why we've been doing these stakeholder outreach meetings and trying to get all of the folks in Escondido that are involved in art all together in one room, opening up the communication. So hopefully, as this progresses, that will improve, and we will be able to, everyone will kind of know what everyone else is doing, and we won't be doing things siloed.
Danielle, I agree with you, and I think that's a good answer. And if there's such thing as a happy mistake, I saw it, and it looks, I think it looks lovely too. Yeah.
I agree. It looks well, and I'm not the only person here that had concern about it, so I wish you would speak up.
Anne Marie,
I don't want to.
understand your concerns,
Yeah.
but I think our commission has to be very careful that we don't overmanage. And I think this is an example of trying to overmanage.
Yeah.
Going forward, when we start painting, more and more people are going to say, I want to paint something on my building, and it's their building. And I think sometimes we have to step back, even though it's hard. Unless we've approved a project and approved the sketch, I don't think we have any ability to come in and say, this isn't what we asked for, or we didn't know this.
I agree, but what I'm understanding is it's just communication. It's just open communication and giving you all an opportunity to see it, make your comment. Can you say no to the project? No, because you're not funding the project. You don't have a say in that regard. But you can obviously give your opinion, and I think it is important as commissioners that you guys are aware of these things, because the public could come to you and say, what's going on this building, or what's going on there. So it is important for you to be involved, and so that's why that is a major goal of this, the Public Art Master Plan, or one of the goals of the plan, to open up that communication and make sure that you guys are informed. Yes, you just have to be very careful that, in these situations, you guys don't, you can, again, provide an opinion, but you are not a voting yes or no on anything.
Okay.
That's good advice.
On the mural committee, we have a member from the Escondido Community Foundation, and that seems to be a place where that person could tell, this is what we're intending to do, right?
Yeah, but we didn't.
Yeah, why?
It was never brought up.
The original mural was, but obviously there have been some changes, and I think that's what was not conveyed.
Right. All right. Thank you so much. I actually brought it up because other people had concerns, so that's okay. All right, let's move to the next one. Liaison report.
Okay, I only have 3 very quick things. Number 1, there was a question about the Pledge of Allegiance at the last meeting, and I just wanted to let you all know that your votes, Zach received all of your votes, comments, and the consensus was to leave the meeting as is, so the Pledge of Allegiance will not be part of the meeting. Second, May 17th, the council meeting. Our commissioners, we have 2 commissioners that are up for reappointment, Commissioner Vargas and Commissioner Ryan. So we will find out. We did have one other person from the community also apply, so May 17th we will find out who, if our current commissioners are reappointed, or if we'll be getting a new commissioner. So that will be May 17th, council meeting, 4:30 p.m. And then the last thing is just the public art master plan. Thank you guys for participating in the community meetings or the stakeholder meetings that we've had so far. As a reminder, our next step, right now I'm scheduling the youth stakeholder meeting with Sudi and Charlie. So we're shooting to do that on May 22nd. That will be a Zoom meeting. We're trying to figure out what time to do that. We think it's best to do it while the kids are in school to capture all of them. But I don't know how, because I want to make sure that we have student artists from all of the schools and not just Del Lago. So we're just trying to figure out how to work that because obviously they don't all have art class at the exact same time. So we're working on that, but like I said, our goal is May 22nd for that meeting. We also have our first public community outreach meeting. We're going to have a booth at the street fair on May 21st. I know I've mentioned this before. I'm looking for volunteers to host that booth. The actual fair is from 10 to 6, so I would think, I'm not exactly sure what the load-in time is, but I think I would expect whoever's volunteering to be there at least a half an hour early, so 9:30, and I was thinking a 4.5-hour shift. It's a long day, so maybe 9:30 to 2, and then 2 to 6:30. So, and it would be nice to have 2 commissioners. We don't need 2, but 2 would be nice. We'll also be sharing the booth with some other city staff that are doing a survey on, oh goodness, what is it? Like internet access and things like that. It's our information systems department. So basically what it will be, and we can sit down and we can talk about the master plan. I think you guys know what it is, but we can definitely sit down and I can go over things with you. But you'll have a little business card with a QR code, and people will use their phones just to click the QR code, and then they're going to be asked 6 questions. Very similar to what you guys have been asked. So here they are right here. I want to just go over them really quickly with you. So it'll be a check all that apply. The first question is, what role do you feel public art should play in Escondido? And then it lists all these things. So they'll click all, beauty, economic development, etc., tourism. What topics or themes are you most interested in having expressed through public art? And then you'll select from that list. Where do you want to see public art in Escondido? And then it has the list. We'll also have a map on a really large board, and people will have stickers that they can, if they have a specific location that they'd like to see something or a specific piece of art in mind that they want, they can put the stickers on the board. So there will be a little bit of interactivity, instead of just taking the survey on their phone. And then regionally, do you feel that Escondido is acknowledged as a rich community, as the rich community that it is? And then they can say yes or no.
Art rich. Yeah.
Art rich.
Mm-hmm. And then what other ideas? And then please select all that apply. So we're just trying to get an idea, because there's a lot of people at the fair that are not from Escondido. So we just want to get an idea if they live, work, or if they're just visiting.
Will the people that are doing the master plan, will any of them be there?
No, they won't.
Okay. Be good.
It'd probably be a good idea to have on that map already show where we have art.
It's going to be the map, very similar to the map that I just
they
showed
know.
you to divide the art. It's going to be that one enhanced a little bit because we are missing a few pieces on there.
And it's going to show also the East Washington Park where we have those murals, or it's just going to be downtown?
No, it will be all of Escondido. And then I think what we're going to do in the white space around the art, we'll have little pull-out pictures so that, because right now it just shows dots and people don't know what's there. They may not know. So we'll have little pop-out pictures that show. We're going to fit as many as we can. We'll definitely pull out the prominent pieces, but we'll have little pull-out pictures with an actual image of what that art is.
Okay. Sounds good.
So it'll be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I would like to get 4 volunteers, but 2 at a minimum. Anyone?
I'll be flying back.
Commissioner Martinez, I know you had already volunteered. Do you have a preference for the morning shift or afternoon? Okay.
Yeah. And I can be there too, but, can I confirm with you? I will either be in the morning or the afternoon, one of the two. 4 hours, you said, or how?
4.5, yeah.
Ooh, that's a long one.
I could be there for 2 hours.
Yeah, I
Sunday's hard.
think I like
Want to
that.
split it?
Yeah, I'll split it with you.
I need to
So what's the
confirm my
afternoon?
calendar, but I can serve with you.
Why don't we, yeah, I mean, I'll split it with you, Patricia. Afternoon, that's fine. What?
In your morning.
Okay.
Okay.
You have enough?
Then Commissioner Ryan, you'll confirm?
I'll confirm.
Okay.
Okay. I won't.
So mine would be
No?
morning.
In the area.
Okay. Okay. Then I may,
That's May 21st?
yes,
A week after next.
thank you for volunteering, because that's my birthday. And
Ah.
I don't want to work at the table.
And so the commission, the committee, or whatever you want to call these people, will be there, right, to answer questions? The
Consultants?
master plan?
No, they will not.
Oh.
Strictly, they're just answering these questions and putting the stickers on the
They
board where they
won't be
want to see
there.
art. No.
'Cause-
That's why I said we can sit down in advance and we can talk about, we can kind of brainstorm what questions you guys might have. We can give you the timeline. We can give you what will be included in the master plan. I'll give you a little cheat sheet. But I don't think that many questions will come up. You can just simply say that the city's doing a master plan for public art. Would you like to answer a few questions?
Well, I
And give
think-
them the business card.
Got it.
Anna Marie's probably thinking too that it would have been a great chance not only for them to answer questions to other people, but us to kind of pick their brain too, as far as where we're coming from. It just seems, just the more we gather information, the more solid this plan is going to be.
You'll have other opportunities. So we'll have another community meeting that will be, they will be there. It will be held in person, probably at East Valley Community Center or City Hall sometime in June. I'm just finalizing some dates on my end, and then we'll get that date set. So that will be an in-person community meeting with the consultants.
Yeah, because I only saw them at the tour, and I haven't had a chance really to talk with them at all. So I feel like, yeah.
Zoom.
Whatever, I
Yeah.
don't care, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I think
All right,
that's it for me.
9, mural subcommittee,
Financial report is next.
where, oh. That's right.
So I say that, and nothing's really changed since the last meeting. There have been a couple payments made to some of our muralists that aren't showing on here, that will show on our next report, but it was nothing significant. What I really wanted to mention here is that we're in the process of doing our capital improvement program budget for the city, and public art dollars are a part of that. So we had, this year's allocation was, for 23-24 was $293,000. So the way that we are proposing splitting that up next year is allocating an additional $200,000 to murals, 73,550 to the public art, which, if you recall, is kind of the generic account that can be used for any type of public art in the city. So if we want to put monuments, if we want to put, the Center City project that we've talked about, if we want to put something on Grand Avenue, if we want to, so anything, basically anything other than murals. And then an additional $20,000 to the utility box painting project.
Are we, is it here, right, in today's agenda?
Yes, those are the current balances, but I'm talking about
Yeah, what's
the
coming.
new funding for 23-24 would be added to this.
Okay, so it's not here, basically.
It's not on here, no.
So what was the total this year for 23, 24?
293.
Okay, and then 200,000 for murals?
Yes.
And then what was the next one?
73,550 for public art in general, and 20,000 for utility box art.
Okay. Alrighty. Now, of course, I lost my agenda. All right, and then next. Yeah. Mural Subcommittee?
Yeah.
That's,
We were there, Terry and Heidi.
Terry?
Our subcommittee with the Escondido expressions,
Oh, no, the mural subcommittee.
Yep.
Here are some of the things we talked about. We talked with Sudi about, she had some good things to say about what are the consequences when an artist does something completely different from what they presented. And we decided that it should be in the contract that this is what you're painting, or else we can paint over it. But giving a 20% room to move, because we realize that changes happen as you're painting. So that's the suggestion from our meeting. So you get 20% wiggle room.
Can I clarify, 20% in cost, 20% in,
Oh, in the art, design.
Yeah.
Design.
so how do we calculate that?
That's a good question.
Well, it's kind of obvious. I mean, we are basing it on a mural, right? That we
Yes.
all know. That means we need,
Well,
pardon me?
1/5 of the space, the
yeah,
20%.
It's about the design, not really the space.
yeah. Well,
mean,
I have an
if
example.
you're going to paint birds and you come up with cows,
I have an example to use. That tortilleria, okay? I would say about 20% is trim, which it's like a wormy trim. Some people really like it, and the artist used his prerogative to do that. Some people might not like it, but that's about 20%
of the total.
of the total.
Okay.
So if you go and look at that building, the front of the building, you'll see what I mean.
This be towards like the addition or exclusion to certain elements that were originally presented?
Yes.
And would that be subjective to how much space it takes on the final mural?
I don't think I personally don't think we're talking about space.
Yeah.
I
It's
think we
just the
talk about the
design.
design. What we approved for that mural, we talk about the museum mural, had nothing to do with what the final piece is now.
Yes.
Nothing. That's not what we voted for.
I do have one concern, I guess, if the artist chooses to add something that everyone enjoys, will they also be reprimanded in the same way that someone who adds something that people don't like will be? Or is that just depending on people's opinion of the end product?
I think those are discussions we really need to have, and it will be part of the mural the policy.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that, we have had one situation, and it's with this mural right out here in Grape Day Park. What we got was not what we saw. Because when the artist was there, he was inspired by the trees. And so his art changed. I don't foresee that happening. I think that was a very different situation, a very different artist. I don't foresee that happening, but I certainly agree that there could be language, stronger language, put into the policy talking about non-substantial, is that a word? Unsubstantial? Non-substantial?
Yeah.
Changes to your mural, right? So yes, little minor changes here and there are fine, but if it's going to completely change the intent or the theme of what was presented to us, then what? Then they don't get paid?
And it can be painted over.
Will they get paid?
I'm closer.
Yeah, what would happen with the payments in that case?
I mean,
I suggested at that meeting that we give them 50% and then we can withhold.
And our policy does say that the mural needs final review by me, I think is or the liaison. And then if it's to the city's approval, they'll get their final payment. So there is language in there regarding that already.
Yeah, I like the way Danielle worded it, where it changes the overall theme presented, because I think 20% can be confusing for people, and it can be easily manipulated in a way. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it's not fair to the artists who have submitted their rendering and they've been faithful to it and that was approved and they painted and so on. This was a total surprise, really. Yeah. Okay. And then people will get back to the Public Art Commission and say, you approve that? You really approve that? No, not really. We didn't approve that. But anyway, so. Alrighty. So that should be
there's more from the mural committee. So Charlie and 4 paid students and volunteers who know how to tutor students in painting are going to be attending the students' mural paintings in Washington Park starting June 13th. And that's a great thing. Let's see.
Those are the ones that we approved last time?
Yes.
Yes. And, Charlie gave feedback that the unveiling was very pleasing to him and the ceremony that went along with it. And he's very pleased with the way everything went down. Including, but he did say that he also underestimated how much he needed. So that is an interesting subject.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's a new process. I don't know the extent of these artists' experience painting murals on walls, but I think it's probably a learning process as they're going, So as they continue to paint more murals, they'll have a better idea of what these things cost.
Well, I think he was talking about the unveiling.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was talking about the unveiling, and he was also talking about that he underestimated how expensive it would be. And finally, there was something else. Let's see. Juan brought up that if people want money from the Public Art Commission, they need to go through the process and come to the mural committee first for murals. And then, Terry, did you want to talk about the last thing we spoke about, which is the idea that but this is not really relevant, I don't think, about the Escondido Foundation paying for schools to paint boxes? Or is that maybe off topic?
Might be off topic.
Okay. All right.
So we have it in the policy that any artist would come first to the mural committee. That's where the design is presented, the rendering. And then suggestions and so on would go there. And then it comes here. So that's what we've had people who are present here, they've done. But Zane doesn't do that. I mean, so what?
I think there's
what's the
been
problem
some
with that?
inconsistency with the subcommittee meeting. And so in order to get the projects moving forward, the Zane's mural did go through the appearance committee on my side of things. So that did happen. And then the mural subcommittee, it did not, however.
No. Yeah.
But you all are I feel like the city has reviewed it. You as a commission have reviewed it. Ideally, yes, we do want it to go through the mural subcommittee. So I think maybe we just need to be more consistent with our meetings and have them be monthly.
Yeah. You mean the mural committee?
The mural subcommittee meeting. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so
Good.
we'll discuss that with Juan and see if we can do that, yeah. But if they come to you, then I guess this is not a public information. Nobody can see this. There's nowhere to be posted where it says, if you're going to apply for a mural, these are the steps you need to follow. I don't think anybody knows that. They all contact you. And I think we need to have it publicly. I thought that, because we work on the mural policy 2 years ago. And we never published it. I think in lieu that we don't have another one, maybe that should be published and people can follow that. And, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Alrighty, Queen Califia, Subcommittee. Anything?
The Queen continues to have a lot of private tours, and Marty's doing an excellent job with that. We have a few more docents, we need more. We're looking for an event circle so we can get together with the foundation and the city to find a site that's close by that we can do parties and also events for the Queen. It'll have to be a combined effort. There is a challenge finding the right spot because there are people who live outside the park who would rather not have more activity in that area. So that's a challenge, but it's not undoable. Hoping we can get a bathroom in there, maybe not, but that's all something we're working on. I don't know if there's anything else, but that's.
No, we're working on a follow-up meeting with the Nikki D. St. Phal Foundation. We met with them a month and a half ago-ish. Yes. And they talked about a potential opportunity for some funding for a kind of a welcome center, if you will, for the garden, which would include the restroom that Commissioner Span's talking about. That is a much larger project than the event space that we originally planned. So we are trying to, like I said, set up a follow-up meeting with them. We've done some research on our end. We've got 2 potential locations. We need to see if their funding source came through. There's just a lot of stuff up in the air right now. So we're trying to meet, they wanted to meet the 3rd week in May, but the city's availability is very limited. And Dave, who is one of the foundation members, doesn't live here locally, and he doesn't want to meet virtually. So we're looking at maybe now June, when he'll be back in San Diego, to set a meeting to have that follow-up meeting and discuss if they have a funding source for that or what our next steps will be. I think our event space can still happen. It's just if their welcome center or that they are, wanting to see is going to be part of that project, that makes it a much larger project, and we have to kind of figure out how the two will coordinate. If we'll do those, it would probably be phased, obviously, because we have spending deadline on the funding that we have.
So that would be an add-on. I just wanted to also say that the Queen continues to be the jewel of our city, and I just would like more, happy to see more attention brought to that and brought into the city itself. Last month we had what we called junior docents. That was kind of fun from a school in town, and so they used the scavenger hunt and worked with kids that came in, and it was a fun time for them and a learning time for them, and I'd like to see that continue. It has to happen kind of organically. Well, actually, it's not going to happen organically. You have to go out and get these kids to come in. They have the hours that they need to work anyway. So if you get kids that really, and they're just like, I want to come back. So that was encouraging. That's my report.
So this lab, cement slab that you guys were talking about by the orange trees, is that off completely?
No, that's
it-
the event space.
Okay, so it'll stay there,
That's phase 1.
even if okay. Because the neighbors can see that and hear and all of that.
Yes. Yeah, there's 2 locations that we could potentially, well, there's several. Environmental impacts will play a role in that too, because there's some areas down there we can't touch, but It could be right up next to the Queen, it could be closer to the parking lot. So we just have to look at the feasibility of both of those and really figure out what our best option is.
And the impact.
We need a meeting, yes.
Yeah. Alrighty, thank you. Yeah, I was there a few weeks ago. You never get tired. Doesn't matter how many times you go. It's just always a surprise. It's beautiful, yeah. Okay, Escondido Expressions. I don't know who's talking about that.
Our subcommittee with Escondido Expressions has met a number of times, and we have selected 5 pieces of art to be possibly be painted on utility boxes. We'll start by actually showing what an unpainted utility box looks like. Yes, would you mind? Thank you. We're going to put them on the overhead. Natalie then will also show us the locations in central Escondido that we have pre-approved where the boxes will be selected and painted. They've already been actually selected, and Natalie did a great job of pulling them up on a map, and we'll be able to show those to us next. So the utility box will be painted, pre-painted with a white primer paint, but prior to that, it will be swept with a broom. Any kind of rust will be removed with either sandpaper or steel wool, and this is all done by the artist and anyone that's going to help them. This one looks like it's had paint strips on it on one side, so those would have to be probably double coated with the primer if they're not removable. And we have to be sensitive to not painting over latches, sealing the doors so that they aren't accessible, and also making sure that the vents aren't totally sealed in. The vents are in the back, I believe. And there is a top to the box, obviously. So we're really excited about this project. We are so excited. And I think you all will be happy with the pieces that we selected. But today we're coming to you for your approval on the 5 that we've picked, and there's an alternate one also.
Okay.
And Natalie's going to show where the locations would be.
She's going to do that right now,
Yeah,
actually.
we were very mindful about where we were putting things. But yeah, I believe there was the question about the roundabouts, if any of those would affect any utility boxes.
Yes, so Grand Avenue is, through the Grand Avenue projects is receiving some roundabouts. So several of them are years off. So if it's on the east side of town, the east side of Grand, further down, I think we can still move forward with those, but I do believe there's one proposed at Broadway, and so I think we're going to have to find an alternate location because that box ultimately will be removed once the roundabout is installed. But the rest I think should be okay.
Is it the 7-Eleven one, or?
No, the Broadway.
Yeah.
Broadway and Grand?
We have one at Broadway and Grand?
I don't
Yeah,
think we,
that's the one that Terry,
your second, yeah.
The one on Broadway and Grand is set pretty far back from where the roundabout will be. Actually, I thought that location was probably the safest. Are you talking Broadway and Valley? Because we do have a proposed box there. Okay.
Yeah, the one we had was the 7-Eleven on Grand and Juniper.
Okay. I think that one, so actually I should put this out here for you all because, the cost is relatively low. But if that project is 2 or 3 years out, are you comfortable with spending the $300 to paint the box?
3 years out?
2 or 3 years out?
oh, wait, are we talking about, what project?
The boxes that are on Grand.
So are we talking about the 5 that are in the pilot or
Yes.
2 or 3 years out?
No, the ones that are in the pilot. So that's the one at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one affected because the other one is down by Escondido Boulevard, and I don't think that one will be affected.
So the one on, by the 7-Eleven, you also were mentioning Broadway. Is that being affected?
No, I might be mistaken
Okay.
that we didn't have a box. I think we have one on Broadway, but it's at Valley Parkway, right, by the credit union?
Yeah.
I think I was just a street off.
Okay.
We also have one at Broadway and Grand, but
Yeah,
it's
so-
set further back.
Natalie, should you go over and point it out?
We have the map right. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah, I have one here. Yeah, so that top right is the Grand and Juniper, but if that one, I guess it depends on everyone's opinion. If it's a few years out, whether or not we'd be fine painting it. It is in a very prime spot. I drove by it today and it's very visible. Those bushes behind it, they just need to be trimmed a little and you'd be able to walk around the box itself.
Okay.
But we also have in front of City Hall right here at the SDCCU building, there is that traffic box there. And then Valley and Maple. This one faces Maple Street Plaza, so anyone who's walking down that street will see it, and anyone who's driving down will also be able to get a good look at it. Then we have Grand and Escondido. This one, I'm very excited for the art we chose. It's up against a white wall. It's the Comerica building, and the plants behind it are actually like birds of paradise and palm trees. And then we have the last one is Valley Parkway in Center City. It's right at the entrance of the bike path.
Of the what?
Of the bike path. So anyone who's riding a bike down the creek behind there will pass by it, and driving down Center City as well on that right side.
I love
It's
them all.
right in front of T-Shirt Mart. Yeah. But yeah, if we can show the artwork.
Do we have any artists here today? Okay.
Okay.
When we show your artwork, could you approach the mic and just introduce yourself?
If you'd
and-
like to
If
speak
you'd
about
like.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If you're welcome to come and approach the mic and just give a brief reason why you picked your theme and.
Yeah.
So
So
when your work comes up, will you, if you would like to, please come up.
I'll go ahead and let you know which artwork is going where. So this is Brenda's. This one will be in front of T-Shirt Mart, right by that bike path there. It's just very vibrant.
Where does it go?
Right in front of the bike path at T-Shirt Mart,
Yeah, that's the only one I don't know where that is.
Center City. Yeah.
And it's horizontal, so the box is in that direction. It's kind of a low, right?
Yeah, it's very visible to anyone who's driving or walking by there.
Can you move that paper or no? Can you remove that?
Also, just to add, we chose these to be fairly close to each other, just to make sure it's prominent that this is
It's
a
an
city
impact,
project.
yeah.
Yeah, so.
That's right. Love it.
California poppies or no? Yeah?
Beautiful.
How big is it, Brenda? You remember? No idea?
The size of the box is,
The size of the box, okay.
how big the flowers are.
Because that one is a what?
5 feet tall. They're about
They're very big.
3 by 5?
5.
Yeah.
But this one is horizontal, so it's
Well,
still.
it's showing all the panels.
It's an exploded version,
Oh, okay.
exploded version of the box.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
The art will wrap the box.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't seeing it.
Thank you.
You want to add anything to it, Brenda, since you're already here?
What can I say? California poppies. I mean, here we are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
This is a pilot, so we wanted to leave some for future projects. So this is Alexandra. So this one we had thought for Grand and Juniper, but if that roundabout is going to be an issue, we can move it down to Broadway. And this was, we placed it there because of the farmer's market. We thought it'd be a perfect location
Oh, yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I'm Alexandra, and I am in the produce industry full-time, and Escondido, I've lived here for the past 4 years, and I just absolutely love all the different commodities that we grow. San Diego County is actually the county with the most small farms in the United States. So I created this piece to represent that for Escondido.
Thank you. Very nice.
Yeah, so if that roundabout is an issue, or if we don't want to sort of place it there, we can move it down to Grand and Broadway. Okay. So this one is thought to be in Valley and Maple, and we saw that Maple Street is displayed there, so we thought it'd be a perfect sort of corridor from Maple Street Plaza to City Hall to Grape Day.
Yeah, well, I have very little to say other than I love Escondido. And this is Zannigi's Escondido. My name is Suzanne in Afrikaans. My artist name is Zannigi. My mom used to call me that. And this is Zannigi's Escondido. And I do one per year. I do an original one that depicts everything that I personally think makes Escondido Escondido. And of course, that avocado has to be in there. And then our, what is this called? The Arch of Giving?
Oh, yeah.
The Arch of Giving and Maple Street.
Is the
Basically everything.
Is the wording not, because this might not be possible?
Pardon?
The wording on the top. It says,
Oh, the top might not be painted because it's a different form. The diagram does not, is not 3 by 5.
The diagram isn't exact to what the utility box is, so we agreed that that top portion will just be painted a solid color to match. Yeah, it's
Sky color.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's not flat. The top isn't flat, so.
no wording.
At the top, no.
Would you prefer not to have wording?
No. I'm just asking because it says might not be possible, so I
No,
want to.
but that's why I'm saying, that could actually be moved down. That would be part of the 20% that we're deviating.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it would be fun to say visit Escondido.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, this one will be along City Hall, the City Hall building on that side, facing Maple Street Plaza.
Wait, along City Hall.
Yeah. Like,
Facing over there.
yeah, it's like right in front here. Yeah.
One more, right? Oh, no, two more.
Two more. So this is Cedars. So this one will go in front of the SDCCU building, facing City Hall.
Oh, cool.
And we really fell in love with the flowers on there. And I sort of think it matches the facade of the bank.
Cedar is my neighbor, and she's a really amazing emerging artist. And this is really exciting to see. I've been wanting to get her public art out there for a very long time. So
Good. I'm glad she did. Are those
Yeah.
passion flowers? I think they are, right?
In front of the SDCCU building, facing City Hall. What was the name of the flowers again?
Is it
So these are passion flowers.
passion flower? That's
They
what I
do
thought.
produce fruit if they're the right kind of vine. So
Okay, so this is our last one. For some reason, I'm most excited about this one just because of the location. But this one is for Grand and Escondido in front of the Comerica building. Because like I said, that building, the wall is white. And so we saw how much color this piece had. And like I said, the plants behind the actual traffic box are birds of paradise. So I feel like it sort of just blends in to the actual environment there.
Who's this one, Brenda?
This is Christine, yeah.
Blooming all year round.
and
Very pretty.
what we did is we tried to be selective in the environment that's around
Perfect.
these boxes, having some relevance of connection.
Yeah, it's something we intend to do as we move forward and make the project bigger. So, yeah, and we just wanted to make sure if we're using this sort of pilot to promote it, We wanted it to be
Perfect.
be nice.
My only question is, when can you get started? This is, but you have 5, and do we have to pick 4?
No, so these are just waiting for everyone's approval, and then, yes. It was just in case location didn't work. Yeah.
Hello.
So, yeah, there's a box right in front of the Regal movie theater, kind of next to the Elation statue. There's a box there, and we saw the inspiration for the artwork of this and thought that'd be perfect because the Center for the Arts does a yearly Dia de los Muertos celebration.
Yeah. Could you say the location again?
I think there's a picture there, but
It's the shopping center right across the street from the California Center for the Arts,
Yes.
where Elation is, the bronze
yes, that,
sculpture.
so that's
There's a sculpture in that.
so it's circled. It's small. This is just a Google Maps screenshot, but the box is right along the sidewalk over here, facing the Center for the Arts.
And also, that one wasn't part of our original,
Mm-hmm.
but we thought it was so good and so appropriate for the
Yeah.
Center of the Arts right
Yeah.
across the street. And
Right.
people coming across that, somehow we were hoping someday it could get into a quicker budget than next year.
Yeah.
But we did try to show sensitivity, having Central Escondido as our theme,
Right.
and I'm really excited about
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. When can they start
as
with
soon
this?
as we vote.
What?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
vote today.
Let's have a motion.
We'll vote today, and then just to make sure that you guys are good with the locations, this is a pilot, it's just 5. And then once the master plan is complete, we can move forward with launching the full project and then go citywide with it. But these can start, depending on the artist's availability, probably within the next few weeks.
So every artist will be responsible for prepping,
Yes.
painting all the primering, and then painting the whole thing.
Yeah, the city's we're going to purchase the primer, so we'll have it here. But the artist is responsible for the colored paint and whatever else is needed for the project.
Did we allot money to this? We did, didn't we? We approved money.
Yeah.
Funding.
Yes, we have a budget now of
5,000.
500?
5,000. So currently, we have.
Yeah, we have a budget of 5,000 right now, and like I said, come July 1, $20,000 additional will be allocated to this project.
We're giving each artist a stipend of $300.
And they have to buy their supplies. That includes paintbrushes and rollers. Looking at the cost of paints and everything, the primer is very expensive, so the city has said that they would buy the primer and store it. The artist will check it out like a library book. But my suggestion was they could only keep it 2 to 3 days because we have 5 artists. And if they kept it a week, that would put off everybody too long. So that's something we need to discuss.
We'll coordinate schedules. I'm sure everybody's not going to be ready on the same weekend.
So, yay.
All right. Yeah, so we need a motion for this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so somebody wants to.
I'll motion
What are you making?
to
a motion?
approve
I'll second to approve.
all the designs. Is that-
5 utility box
Thank you for
pilot
mentioning.
program for expressions, Escondido expressions. How about that?
Second? Anybody?
I second.
Okay, all those
Oh, you just seconded.
Second, you third.
Yeah, I third.
We're all in agreement.
We like it.
So-
All those in favor?
I just
Aye,
have
aye.
a question for Danielle about this. So I give you these applications with all the information about the artists so that you can give them the stipend?
Yes, please.
Okay, so right after the meeting.
Don't go anywhere, Danielle. Don't run. Okay, so, yeah, we said all those in favor, I believe, everybody?
I do have one more item really quickly underneath.
Yeah.
Escondido Expression.
You mean,
Escondido Elementary School District is interested in a future partnership with Escondido Expression. They would only get a one-time stipend of $300 for 23 schools. And they were very interested in third through fifth graders. Oh, sorry. They're very interested in third through fifth graders being a part of painting the boxes in front of their school. Because the schools are at a crosswalk, there's usually one traffic box there. There's 23 schools, that includes elementary and intermediate.
Middle school.
And they have expressed an interest in partnership with us. They also contacted me today to say they have a brand-new machine that puts out printing on vinyl with the peelable backs, and that's something that they're going to look at for costs for them, but they would apply it. And then that way, school children would not have to be out painting the box. Otherwise, we have to use after-school children to paint where they have supervision from the YMCA and parental permission. So there would always be adult supervision. I think that's something that we should think about in the future, because we're encouraging the future of Escondido to be involved. And my suggestion was we do 4 students per box, so we have more students involved than just one painting a large box.
Right.
And yeah, just for some more info, as we were starting this project with the locations in mind, we'd also like to make sure that we give students an opportunity in the boxes closest to their schools as we move forward, just to make sure we're encouraging our younger artists to showcase their work.
I think it's wonderful. It makes them proud of their school, and they finally connect. The school is their city. That belonging is so important right now for the city, that they need to belong. You know, they feel they belong. Anything else?
We're interested in moving forward with the conversation with them.
You bet. I agree. I mean, what do you think? Any
Put that
discussion?
on agenda item.
Didn't we also talk about applying for a grant from the Escondido Foundation, who would like to do that?
We did.
So, all right, to be continued?
So we need to put it on the agenda in the future?
Well, I just want to be clear that this is something that we would do. This is the pilot, right? And then we'll complete the master plan, and then we'll launch the program. So this, I think it's a little bit too early to put it on an agenda, but yes, certainly for a future agenda, a couple meetings from now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
When are you foreseeing the master plan to be done?
I would say probably another 8 months or so.
Oh, really? It's okay. Mhm. Anybody else? I think there's more commissioners.
Yes, I had one thing to say concerning the Pledge of Allegiance. I was at my grandson's Little League game last week, and before the game, all 20-plus kids, the coaches, and anyone who wanted to stand up or sit down did the Pledge of Allegiance. Matter of fact, the City Council and the Historic Preservation do the pledge before every meeting. I'm sad to think it's an issue. The pledge promotes our freedom to pledge or not to pledge, to stay seated. It promotes liberty and justice. I hear equality in it, and the spirit of caring for all. Art that we do here by nature evokes emotion and sometimes controversy. It's amazing that the heart and the breath of our nation allows this, yet we silence those who are offended by not being able to say the pledge. And it's the City Council who gave us the Art Commission, and we're not even following that. I just think that as Americans, as people, if we don't stand up for what we believe in life, the liberty and pursuit of happiness, we won't have it, and we won't have that option. So that is all I had to say about that, but I just think it's a shame that we're not saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I agree with you. I come from a military background. My parents, World War II, my husband, Vietnam. So I'm a little saddened that I won't have an opportunity for myself to stand up and do that. Thank you, Patricia, for...
We probably could stand here before the starts and say it, but I'm not going to make a statement that way, but I did want to say that. It surprised me.
Well, if people feel strongly about it, why do we not do it?
I think we were we couldn't ask each other these, so I think we did it through the clerk, and there were some commissioners that thought it was not necessary to do it, and that things were working properly the way they are. And so basically not to impose it, we said, let's just stay as we're doing it right now, and not, that was the only thing, so, yeah, but thank you for sharing your.
And we will be able to address this at another time at some point, right? Okay. Thank you.
And future agenda items. I can't think of anything at this point, so we'll send it to you.
Okay, that's.
Nothing new that I can think of. So the meeting is at.
No.
No?
Don't we have a public comment? Do,
No.
It's
Oh.
not, it was actually done at the beginning.
okay.
But
There is public comment at the end of the meeting as well, but
It's not on the agenda.
necessary. Yeah,
Is-
we
do
don't
we
have any
have-
public comment.
No?
No.
I thought, okay. All right, so let's adjourn at 6:24. Thank you, everyone.